Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I'm going to do here people on Arsenal's latest transfer activity and in particular the news that Declan Rice has been the subject of a new bid from Arsenal, a third bid, £105 million, £100 million up front with £5 million in add-ons. And where that leaves the dynamic now between Manchester City and Arsenal in this tussle, this bidding war to get Declan Rice. Now, from an Arsenal point of view, people, I'm really happy with this development. I think if Arsenal can get Declan Rice to come to the Emirates, it would be a massive coup. I think it would be a huge signing for us. I think Rice would bring so much to the table. He would add a lot of positive attributes to Arsenal. Just speaking from a technical standpoint, first of all, I think he meets the profile that Mikel Arteta likes from a deeper lying midfielder. I think he's very physically capable. He can break up the play, intercept, win the ball back, plenty of recoveries in possession to regain possession. And then he has the ability to play diagonal passes, long-range diagonal passes. And although he may not have the cuteness of pass that Graham Souness was talking about on TalkSport, I do feel he has a very expansive range of passing, and his long-range passing is fantastic, and he can pick out diagonal balls. I saw him do it really effectively for West Ham against Newcastle earlier this year, this calendar year, I believe around that February time. He had an excellent match there, and actually he ran the game, and I think Callum Wilson commented on that after the Newcastle played West Ham. So I feel in terms of his technical ability, and if you think, people, what tactic was very successful for Arsenal last year, it was when Thomas Partey was able to play the ball to Saka very fast. So pick out Saka on the right hand side, give Saka a little bit of space and give him the jump start on the opposing defenders. And then he had that moment where he could be one-on-one with the opposing left back. And I think Declan Rice could do something similar. You might see him recover possession, spot Saka really fast, and then play the ball into his feet. And I think it's going to be quite an effective tactic that Arsenal can use. And I feel, I touched on it earlier, people, but Declan Rice's athleticism, I think, is a real attribute and a real quality that he can bring to Arsenal as well, because he's a very strong person, built really athletically, and the way he moves around the pitch as well. He can run with and without the ball forward, make progressive runs, because he's got that strong and powerful running gait. So I feel like he can be that box-to-box player if Arsenal need him to do that, because he certainly has the physical attributes to do that position, to do that role. So from a tactical, technical and physical point of view, people, in terms of the gameplay, I think Declan Rice is a fantastic signing for Arsenal. But I also think from a mental and team dynamic point of view, he's going to be a really positive acquisition for Arsenal, because he brings leadership. He was the captain of West Ham United, and I feel when the match may become a little bit bitty between the two teams, if Arsenal are going up against a physical team or a team that are deploying some questionable tactics from a time-wasting point of view, if they're kicking our players, I feel Declan Rice could be a good spokesperson in terms of having dialogues with the referee to keep the referee honest and to prevent Arsenal from being taken advantage of. I think Declan Rice could be a real assertive presence from that standpoint as well. So I think that's another characteristic, people, that we can't underestimate, because often Arsenal in the past have maybe experienced a feeling, a perception from the Arsenal side that maybe they don't get enough of an equal treatment from referees. And I think with Declan Rice's presence in that midfield on the pitch, I think it might redistribute that balance somewhat in Arsenal's favour. So hopefully we're getting a little bit more of an equal hand when it comes to refereeing decisions. So I feel, people, that is another great reason why Declan Rice would be a really good fit for Arsenal. And well, it hasn't happened yet, of course, people. We know it hasn't happened yet, but I do feel this £105 million bid is a real step in the right direction. And I just really hope it gets done now, people, because Declan has indicated in the past that he would prefer a move to Arsenal, or so we hear. And I do get the impression that there's some substance to that idea, because whenever I saw him engaging with Arteta in those matches, in those moments after the matches with West Ham and Arsenal, I did see a genuine respect and a connection between the two. It didn't look cursory or obligatory or anything like that. It looked actually quite genuine and heartfelt when they shook hands and congratulated one another or commiserated, whatever the case may have been. So yeah, people, I'm really, really hopeful that this move can happen. I feel like it will bolster Arsenal's options. Well, I think Declan Rice would be a starter for Arsenal in the important games, but it would also give us that ability to potentially rotate, give Declan Rice majority of the minutes, but Thomas Partey could sometimes come in to give Declan Rice a rest as well. If Thomas Partey stays at the club, we're not too sure on what's happening there. But yeah, I feel, people, it's a really positive step in the right direction for Arsenal, and one in which symbolises and signifies our intent for the coming year, that we've signed one of the best up-and-coming midfielders in European football, I would say, and at the right age profile, 24 years old, who can really step in and have potentially his best years at Arsenal. I think it's a real signal and a sign of our intent moving forward. So I'm really delighted, people. I will be delighted if this signing does get over the line, and I'm becoming increasingly confident that it will. Just the noises that we're hearing from the various journalists, Ornstein, Romano, etc., I feel like it could happen. All right, people, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Are you as enthused as I am about this signing? Do you think Declan Rice will be a good fit for Arsenal? And are you also confident that this move will indeed happen? Okay, people, I hope you're enjoying the content. Let's keep the dialogue coming. Peace, love.